got to get all this foundation off. I'm turning red. Great. How in the world am I gonna cover this now? It's gonna look like a little redneck. Ha, redneck. Ha. Hey y'all, what's up? My name's Kelsey K, otherwise known as KelseyKMUA, and I wanted to thank you so much for being here today. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today, and we are going to be talking about the difference between contouring, bronzing, and brontouring. So this is something that I feel like I have not completely mastered. However, I do want to share what I know with you guys about the basics of contouring, bronzing, and brontouring. So let's just go ahead and jump right on into it. Okay guys, so here in front of me I have 3 different products. First, what I have here is the Folklore Sculpt and Glow palette, and in this palette comes a nice contouring shade as well as a highlighting shade. I love these. This is perfect for me during the winter time. But so this is a great contouring shade for me because this is a little bit more of a gray tone. And if we're going to be brontouring, what I really like to use is the Maybelline City Bronzer in the shade 200. The reason why I really like this one is because it's more of like a neutral undertone. It's not really quite gray, but it's not really quite warm either. And then lastly for bronzer, I have here is the Kat Von D Beauty. This is the bronzer in the shade Deep. And this one here is more of like a red base. So this is more of your classic bronzer. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you what these 3 look like together. So as you can see, these have all very quite different, not just shades, but they also have really different undertones as well. So the deeper one is definitely more of like that red undertone, that red base. And then here the Maybelline one is a little bit more of like that neutral undertone. And then the Folklore one is a little bit more cool toned, almost like a gray tone. So this one is gonna be great for contouring. We have here our bronzer and then also our bronzer. So first let's go ahead and talk about contour placement and what contouring actually does. When you are contouring, you are drawing back the skin. So when you are contouring, you are drawing back the face. You are pulling things back. And when you highlight, you are pulling things forward. So when you contour, you want to be very careful as to like where you place the contour so that then it will look more snatched. So taking the contour shade from Folklore, I'm going to tap off the excess, onto the back of my hand. And you want to make sure that you know where your cheekbones are. You want to feel for the hollows of your cheeks. Feel where your jawline is very gently so you don't mess up your foundation. And I can feel that my cheekbone is right about here. So I want to make sure that I am applying my contour right in here. And that's just for me. Your cheekbones might be a little bit different. Now when you're brontouring and bronzing, you might want to place these a little bit differently so that then it will create the illusion of a higher cheekbone. But when you are contouring, you want to make sure that you are putting that right where your cheekbone actually is. And then go in with the product. Do you see what a huge difference that makes in my face? So this side is obviously a little bit more full now, and then this you can tell that the skin has been kind of brought in a little bit to create more along the lines of that lifted look. Now if you feel like you've gone a little bit too heavy-handed with the contouring or bronzer, you can take your powder brush with no additional product and definitely buff it into the skin to make more of a soft effect. Do you see what a huge difference that makes? So next I'm going to go ahead and take the contouring powder and contour along my hairline. This I'm going to keep very close to the hairline and go back and forth so that then there's no muddiness, and making sure that everything is very well blended. I'm also going to take the same shade and run that here just along my jawline to create more of that chiseled effect. Ooh, oh my gosh, I think I just lost 10 pounds with makeup. Like, wow, isn't that crazy? See how like it creates that really deep shadow right here? It creates more of like that like look. Maybe the title of this video should have been how to lose 10 pounds in 10 minutes. Okay, next to contour my nose. Actually, usually I don't contour my nose too often. I tend to more brontour my nose just because A, I don't have time to contour my nose. B, I kind of like my nose. I feel like out of all the things that I feel like are wrong with my face, I definitely feel like my nose is the thing that I worry least about. However, if I were to contour my nose, this is how I would do it. So I'm going to go ahead and take a nice slanted eyeshadow brush like this. I'm going to dip here into the powder, tap off the excess. If you're not comfortable contouring and brontouring it, making sure that you go in with a light amount of product and then kind of see where you're depositing that product, so then you can kind of go back in and you can add more and more and more, but it's a lot harder to take away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right here where my eyebrow is and kind of work my way down and really carving out and elongating the nose. So you can see if I turn my head to the side here, do you see a difference? So what you're doing when you're contouring is you're pinching the nose together. And I'm gonna leave this portion of the skin untouched so that then it will create more of that look. Ooh, I feel like a movie star. Is this how movie stars get their makeup done? Because I'm feeling it. I feel like I should have done my brows first before doing the contouring, but oh well. Okay, so that, guys, is how far we are going to go with actual contouring. Next, we're going to go ahead and move on to brontouring, which is going to be taking that more neutral shade. And I'm going to take that on a slightly more fluffy brush. So here's the difference between my powder brush and my brontouring brush. So my powder brush has more of like that nice like fluffy dome shape. And this one here is still a little bit more domed, but it's a little bit more tapered here at the bottom. It's more stubby. So this is going to help me get greater precision without being too precise. So gently just kind of tapping that here into the pan, tapping the excess off. And what you want to do when you're brontouring is kind of emphasizing that contour. So I like to start with the hairline first just to kind of see what the color is going to look like and how well I can build it up. So kind of again starting back at the hairline, kind of how we did with the contour, but really focusing that a little bit more close to the eyebrows and more of like the center of the forehead area, and really just making sure that all of that powder got blended in well. Moving on to the cheeks, what I like to do is go ahead and take this here a little bit higher up than what we did as far as contouring, and really kind of almost blending in the contour with the bronzer shade and working that here into the sideburn area, almost here along the hairline, and really just kind of bringing that up to help lift that cheek a little bit more. I'm also just going to go ahead and soften this a little bit more down here, as well as kind of just using this brush to kind of soften up the contour here, as well as kind of softening up the nose as well with no additional product. Sweeping up. You want to make sure that whenever you're trying to buff out a contouring shade that you're always trying to brush upwards, never down. You never want to drag down and do this, because otherwise what that is going to do is it's going to drag that product down, and then it's going to, of course, then droop the face down as well. We want everything to be lifted and tight, like a boob job for your face. That is fancy. I like that. So taking my brontouring shade, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take a little pencil brush, and I'm going to go right here. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking this pencil brush with my bronzer shade, and I am essentially contouring my lips. So what I'm doing is I'm going underneath the entirety of the lip, focusing a lot of that pigment towards the center of the lips to give more of that pouty effect. I'm also going to take the same shade along the top of the lips to make sure that that really emphasizes my cupid's bow. And once I'm done, I'm going to go ahead and take my contour brush, and I'm going to buff that all out to give it that nice seamless look. Did I just get lip injections, or is it makeup? And lastly, for bronzer, I'm going to go ahead and take this nice deep shade, and I'm going to be very, 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 very careful with it. Just going to gently tap that here into the product and making sure that I'm very purposeful with my bronzer, which means I'm going to make sure that I'm deepening up the hairline over here, because we already have a lot of product from here to here. So what I'm doing is I'm going to hold the brush here towards the back of the handle, and starting here along the hairline, and then as soon as I find out how deep that pigment is and where I'm placing that pigment, I can go in with more product and kind of almost stamp and buff. Does Does anybody else remember the days where we thought that bronzing meant that we needed to just take bronzer literally all over our faces to make us look more tan? Terrible time in my life. And also very, very gently going to go slightly above that contour shade. So going right about here very, very softly and warming up that shade very, very delicately. So do you see the difference between this side and this side? So see how this is a little bit higher up? We've taken that warmer shade a little bit higher, and then same over here. So really warming that up, giving us that nice sun-kissed glow. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pinch my brush here with no additional product on it, and I am just going to go ahead and make this look a little bit more warm. Same under the lips. And then also going to take a tiny bit more here underneath the jawline and buffing that here down the neck. Very, very, very lightly. But I'm only going to do this here on the sides of my neck as opposed to here in the center. Okay guys, I think that just about does it. Thank you so much for watching this video today. If you liked it, go ahead and give me a big old thumbs up. It helps other people find the video. And if you want to help other people find this video even faster, you can share this video and go ahead and subscribe to my channel so you can see more videos of me doing stuff like this. Oh, don't forget, ring the bell. Ring the bell, ring the bell. But yeah, thank you so much guys. I love you so much and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye y'all. I look like a movie star. A movie star! A movie star! Oh, are you guys sick of me yet or no?